Okie dokie. So make sure you can see me and hear me easily, yeah, that you don't have to kind of crane your neck to look at the demonstration. Just settle down into your mat. I don't really mind if you have your legs bent or straight, do what's most comfortable. And we're just going to breathe. So inhale through your nose, see where that breath naturally goes, what parts of your body rise, and as you exhale, where does your body fall? Where does it deepen? Where does it relax a little bit more? Sometimes when we've been stressed out or we've been going fast all day, when we breathe in, it can just feel like it comes into the shoulders. So if you can start to imagine your breath going deeper into your stomach, or even maybe down into the pelvis, all the way down the spine, and then slowly exhaling up the spine and out of the mouth, could just give you a little more space and a little more relaxation. Good. From here, we're going to start to move our feet. So we're going to bend the knees if you haven't got them bent. And then you're going to lift the toes and then lift the heels. Lift the toes, lift the heels. So, of course, you can't see them. So your gaze is just going to be up towards the ceiling. Your arms can be by your sides, whichever formation you want them to be in. Good. And then I'd like you to swap the feet. So you're going to lift the toes on one foot and lift the heel on the other. So it's toes and heel, toes and heel. Like you're going for a little funny walk. Good. And then again, just plant your feet into the floor. And now can you just lift your big toes from the ground? Press the big toes down, lift the other toes from the ground. I've got to say, this is a lot more challenging when you're lying down, purely because you've got no chance of seeing them. Yeah, so you're just lifting the 4 toes and then lifting the big toe. Yeah, on both feet. So you might try to imagine that you're kind of pushing the other toes into sand and leaving an imprint, or into thick, cool mud. That'd be quite nice. Good. And then let your feet relax. Fab. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace those fingers and pop them behind your head. And we're just going to start with a little butterfly. You're going to take those elbows towards one another and then let them open out. Inhale, bring them towards one another, and exhale, take them out. We're trying to get a little bit of shoulder work here. So feel the shoulders almost hugging you around your ribs. Great. That's it. And then take your hands from behind your head, reach them up towards the ceiling. And from there, you're going to take one arm up as the other goes down. So you've got a little toy soldier thing going on. Yeah, both arms stay super straight now. So you can start to feel that the shoulders are gliding away from one another. So the arms are moving, but they're trying to help you reach the shoulders in new directions. So then you can start to make this a little bit bigger by taking your arms a little wider. Yeah, so you're kind of going into a diagonal now, reaching out. That's it. Reach. Well done. And then you can kind of make that into a wide T position. So you bring your arms up towards the ceiling and then take them out in a wide T. Yeah, and reach back up. I know. Yeah, if you're hitting a member of your family, you won't be doing it for much longer. So just adjust a little bit. Good. So there's lots of shouldery, twisty things tonight. So just do a couple more of those. Really nice. Lovely. And then settle your arms down by your sides. Great. If you've got something behind your head, I want you to just whip it away for a moment. Just put it to one side. And then place your hands back behind your head with your fingers interlaced. So you've got a nice little cushion, human cushion, your hands. Great. From here, we're going to curl up. So you take your elbows towards the ceiling and the gaze is towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly take your gaze across the ceiling to the wall and then towards your knees or through your thighs as you gently start to lift the chest. Inhale, slowly let the gaze reach up or climb up the wall and then up towards the ceiling as you come down. Again, I just want you to use your eyes a little bit tonight to help you with some of the moves. Doesn't mean you have to stare hard. In fact, I'd prefer it if you had kind of a soft gaze and you're still taking in the rest of the room. You know, we stare into one point on the screens all day, so just allow your eyes to kind of be wide and take in all of the objects and lovely things around your room. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Well done. All right, now we're going to do a shoulder bridge here. So we're just going to take the hands from behind the head initially, put your arms by your sides, pressing through all 4 corners of the feet, but also press through your arms, and then just start to feel as though the floor is lifting you up. So it kind of, the floor comes to meet you, and then just bring yourself into your first shoulder bridge. Rolling down. So I'm, again, often cueing feet, but tonight I just want you to feel the whole body. So we don't just press in through the feet, we press through the arms, we press through the shoulders. There's a light bit of tension through the head. And then as we come down, all of that pressure slowly dissipates because the rest of the body can then sink down to the mat. Good, just do 1 more. Lovely work. And then we're going to put those 2 moves together. So if you've got hurty knees or you feel you need a little bit of support, grab that cushion and put it in between your thighs. Reach your arms back up towards the ceiling, interlace your fingers, pop them behind your head. Inhale. As you exhale this time, you're going to curl up, just as you did before, nice and easy, looking towards the wall and then between the thighs. When you come down from this curl up though, that's going to be initiated from your pelvis. So you're going to tip your pelvis back and you're going to start to reach the shins forward to bring yourself into a shoulder bridge. When you get to mid-rib area, your head's going to want to quite naturally come down to the mat. So let it, so your hips can rise. And then from there, let the chest sink down. When the bottom ribs start to find the floor, then you'll find that your head is light enough to gently start to curl forwards, and that will allow your tailbone to sink down to the mat. So it's like you're a little slinky. Yeah, it's like a little interplay between the top and bottom of your body. But I want you to really feel kind of the undulation through your spine. So even though the hips are coming up and the head are coming down, and vice versa, you want to be less seesaw, more slinky. I mean, that's what we all want in life, isn't it? Let's see some more slinky. I think I might get a t-shirt with that on. Anna, I want your feet a little bit narrower and I want you to press through your toes, please. Lovely. Jane, that looks really nice. Good form. What can happen with this one is that we start to kind of elongate away from ourselves. So if that's happening to you, just feel free to bring your heels a little bit closer towards your bottom. And I just want one more. Lovely. Great. Brilliant. Okay, once you've finished that, just rock yourself up to seated, please. And then we're going to do some all fours stuff, but it's still quite nice and slinky. So first of all, I want you to do your cat and cow. Okay, we're going to use our eyes again, move that, to help us with this. Okay, so you're going to start as normal, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, a little bit of weight into the feet as well. You're looking between your hands, and then I want you to just gently start to look along the mat to the end of it, then start to look up the wall. So as your head and your gaze lifts, you might even look up through your eyebrows. You'll quite naturally, your bottom will lift. Then start to bring your gaze down the wall. Find the mat, look through the hands, look towards your knees. You might end up looking through the thighs or even towards your belly button. And then continue. So it's just the cat and cow, but when you use your gaze, it can really start to help you feel the same kind of undulation that you've just experienced in that shoulder bridge. Using the eyes can lengthen you out a little more and slow it down. Good. And it's not about an end point, you know, you're not trying to look all the way up to the ceiling and then look all the way to your belly button each time. You're just exploring and trying to find a place where it feels comfortable, a stretch, but a comfortable one. Really good. I want two more all the way through, still using the gaze as your main driver for the exercise. And then you finish off with your gaze just looking in between your hands. And we do wag the tail now. So when you finished your cat and cow and you're back to neutral, you're then going to look over your right shoulder. So just gently again, look around the room. So what else do you scan as you start to look over your shoulder? And then when you've looked as far as you can reach the bottom in that direction too. And then we bring it back to center. So start to look over your left shoulder, again scanning the room, and then you can take your bottom over to the left once you've stretched and looked over to it. So again, it's just a different angle. Usually I'm telling you to push your bum and then look at it. This time we're looking around, hoping that it's there, you know, hoping it's not gone anywhere. Is it still there? It's quite frightening, isn't it? Imagine. Good. Great stuff. Okay, we won't labour that too much because you've got a bit more on your wrists. So feel free to come back and have a little rest off those wrists. You can maybe turn them over the other way. You can just be in your child's pose. Yeah, so whatever's, yeah, that's it, Sarah. So It's quite nice to get that wrist stretch, but just don't put too much pressure on them. All right. So we're now going to do a thread the needle-esque type thing, but it's called around the clock. You know, I do like a clock. I do like clocks and time. So I want you to imagine now on the mat in front of you, or surrounding your mat, is the face of a clock. And we're going to go around it, yeah, with one arm. So it's going to look like this. You start from all fours. You're going to reach forward, yeah, to touch number 12. And then you come back up towards the ceiling. That's one movement. Then I'm going to reach over, yeah, to where 1 would be. Come back up and open, etc. Yeah, so you're going all the way around the clock. 6 is going to be between your legs, if you were wondering. Yeah, and your palm's going to be up. And of course, 3 and 9 are going to be your familiar thread the needle. Okay, so I'll come with you and then I'll come and have a look at you. If you're confused, you know, doesn't matter, just move. Okay, so from there, get yourself into all fours. Reach, I'll do this one actually, it's facing the camera. So reach forwards to 12 and then reach up. So every time you touch a number, you've then got to come up towards the ceiling. Yes, you've got to recover from it and reach. That's it. It doesn't matter if you're going clockwise or anti-clockwise. Yeah, just make sure that you're touching each point. Good. And I don't mind, again, which way you breathe. It's just about getting your shoulder to do some other funky things that it might avoid in normal everyday life. Be careful you don't start to speed this up. I want you to explore and kind of find maybe a stretch that you haven't found before. You're like, oh, actually that one's really good for me. So particularly these ones when you're reaching behind your body and then coming back up, feel pretty good. You don't have to go to your end of range. I think that hopefully goes without saying. So, you know, we're not break dancers. Maybe some of you are. Please write to me and tell me if you are or were. I love a bit of break dancing. And then once you've got around the clock to 12, of course, you can have a little rest if you need it, or you can just start on the other side. It's full on, isn't it? Good work. So off you go. On that second side, 12. Lovely. And, you know, if I could have given you forewarning, you could have been sort of cleaning your floor while you were doing this, couldn't you? It's another good one. You could kind of fool sort of young children into doing this, cleaning, maybe some adults. That's it, good. Oh, isn't that glorious? So feel free, you know, if you find a little one like a number 7 that you're like, oh yes, that's the stretch my body needs. Once you've gone around your clock with both arms, come back to that stretch and have a couple of goes of that. Yeah, we don't often do this kind of internal rotation with the shoulder, so it should like it. We might moan about it a bit. Well done. Good work, everybody. We are going to come on to our bellies after that. So once you've completed that, or you've simply had enough, just slide onto your belly and relax there in prone. Nice. The Coltman's looking like synchronized swimmers there. My favorite kind of swimmers. Well done. Good. So once you've completed your clocks, you're just lying on your front, and we are going to do swan this evening. So you can have your arms wide by your sides, and I mean, the point of that shoulder work is to get your shoulder blades moving and feeling a little bit freer on your back. So relax your head, settle down into the mat. Feel your tailbone reach towards your heels, so your lower back lengthens. It's almost that feeling of tucking your bum under, but not getting to that point because obviously the floor's in the way. Good. Then from there, just hover your head above your mat. It's almost like you've got a horrible smell on your mat and you want to just lift your head away from it first. Then your gaze is going to go forwards to the end of the mat, and that's what's going to start to widen your collarbone. Then you start to press gently through your arms and lift yourself into your swan. Reach forwards to come down. And then again, looking down towards the mat, hover the head, gently start to take the gaze forwards. Back in the day, when I started teaching Pilates, I used to always say, imagine you're just rolling a Malteser away with your nose and watching it roll along the floor. That's quite a nice vision. That's it. So again, it's just using that gaze. Yeah, really nice. So you want to be able to have a little bit of room between your ribs and the mat, just the top parts of the ribs. That's it. So you want to physically lift those muscles around the area to lift those ribs. If you're someone who kind of suffers through the lower back with this, that's another key thing you can do. That's better, Richard. Okay, so we're now going to add a little twist to this. So you want to make sure, firstly, that your neck is free. So just have a little look. There's no point coming up into your swan here, yeah, and then obviously there's nowhere to go for your neck. So the shoulders need to be really, I'm exaggerating wildly, but the shoulders need to be really away from the ears. And then once you feel that your neck is free and your back is supported, then again, you can glance over, and then come back down. So it doesn't matter if your swan is here, but the neck has to feel free before you start doing any twisting. Okay, so we're going to do 4 of these. Inhale, hover the head, reach the chest forwards, find that upper back work, check the neck is feeling free, and then glance over one shoulder, glance over the other shoulder, reach the chest forwards, come down. I'm going to come and look at you for these. Yes, it should feel like the head's just kind of bobbing on top of the spine. Great, and then you can twist it and get that other stretch. Lovely. I caught someone looking right at me then. I was just having a little drink of gin. Only joking. I would never do that. Great. Lovely. Really reach out through your legs for these last couple. I'm not asking you to lift your legs, but make them active and even sort of press them down into the floor. See how that affects things for you. Brill. Okay, well done. And then just give yourself a little wiggle. So if you want to do windscreen wiper legs, I nearly said windmill legs. Don't know what they'd look like. All right. So we are now going to come up to seated. Our first little seated exercise is going to be mermaid. So you are either having your legs stacked, yeah, like this, or you're going into your open Z sit. So if you can do a Z sit, do it, yeah, because it'll be a lot nicer. But obviously if your hips don't allow that, then just stacking them is good. All right, so we're going to do 4 just gentle side bends first of all. We're going to reach the arms wide, reach up through the crown of the head. Go in the direction of your front knee. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Reach up and over. So that's kind of your easy stretch. That's where you want to go first. And then the one reaching away from the knees is the counter stretch. So if we can think about these bottom ribs slowly opening up the top ribs, that will give you this sense of curve and open. Yeah, and then we get this nice little flow. Up and over. And up and over. I've got one more. These look great to do each side. Oh, a nice little crack there. Good. So the next time you go in the direction your front knee is pointing, you're going to reach up, up, up. It's almost like you could be pulled up off the floor here. That's how much you're reaching. Then you're going to twist. And you're going to take those hands into parallel. So I want you to just hold that stretch for a moment because it's quite a big twist that you've done. So just breathe there for a couple of moments. Your gaze should be now between your hands. And then I want you to just start to lightly take the gaze forwards again on the mat, looking up the wall. And maybe you'll just get to the top of the door. Yeah, or maybe you can look all the way up to the ceiling, just see how it feels. Your bum will kind of naturally lift and then look down the wall all the way through to the mat. And then again, look down to your thigh and maybe towards your belly button. And then again, looking along the mat and up the wall, up towards the ceiling, that big extension. And then looking down the wall and towards your belly. Now you can use the hands a little bit to help you here. You can kind of pull the hands towards you as you look up the wall and push the mat away as you look down. Remembering you're trying to flex and extend in rotation, so you know it's not like doing the cat-cow that you did before. It does feel amazing when we unravel. So just do a couple more. And again, if you concentrate on the gaze, kind of the body will move a little bit more freely for you. Yes, lovely. I want you to look down towards the mat so you're slightly flexed, and then take your arm out to the front and up towards the ceiling to unravel. Good. And then have that little counter stretch. Yay! Okay, well done. Let's do the other side. I mean, feel free if you want to just be in the middle for a moment and just notice how it feels, because you might feel really open on one side and kind of on the other. Get yourself into your mermaid position and then again, reach up and over. So if you look straight ahead, if you look straight at me, don't be too scary because I'll get scared. But again, if you're just looking straight ahead, and then also again taking in the rest of the room. It's a really nice thing, this, because I've just noticed of late that you're just staring into the screen, looking at people's faces or looking at yourself constantly. That we're kind of sick of the four walls that we're in, I'm sure. But there's lots of lovely things to look at. I'm sure you've spent lots of time choosing. Okay, so next time I'm going to rotate. So I'm going to take the arm down, reach this one up, 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 and then rotate. So this might be your better side. You might feel a bit freer because you've already done this once now. So just breathe here. See how your rib cage reacts. Look between the hands and then look gently forwards, up the wall, towards the ceiling, down the wall, to the mat, to the leg, to the belly, and then again. Great stuff. Feel free to start to kind of push the mat a little bit and pull it towards you to get that little more work. You don't need it. If you're happy with what you're doing, that's fine. The push would come with a flexion and the pull would come with lifting the chest and extending. Oh yes, I mean, for me, you could just do this for the next half hour. Good work. All right, so finish by looking in between your hands, kind of down towards the mat. And then again, lift the arm and then pick yourself up and just have that little counter stretch. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Okay, so now you are just going to slide onto your side. So this is where you might need a few more cushions. The first bit you won't need anything. Okay, so just relax, have the knees bent, have your feet flexed. What else? Let your ribs sink back a little bit. That's it, yeah. Okay, great. Then from here, just slowly send this top hip away from your rib ever so slightly. And that should just help this waist lift. And then we're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. So we're keeping the feet flexed, so we've got both legs being active. And I want you to almost feel that this leg is not pushing down, but it's getting heavier into the mat each time this leg doesn't move. Now from here, we're going to go into circles. So we're going to reach up, back and around. We're going to keep those hips steady. It's a nice mobility, kind of drill this. Your hips have already done some wonderful things in that mermaid position. And then you will go the other way. If you're starting to get a bit of tension through your shoulders or neck, change your hand position. You can look down towards the floor and then bring the gaze back up. Well done. Good. And then mini rest. Put the leg down. Flex the feet again. I want you to really lift the toes. Yeah, because it's quite weird flexing your feet when you've got your legs bent. So from there, you're going to pick up that top leg again. And now you're going to straighten it. Push through that heel. So it's underneath you. It's reaching to the bottom of your mat, not in front of you. Then from there, you're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. And always remember when you're doing side work, it won't last forever. You know, sometimes I chat and it lasts a bit too long. I know, but we're being quite strict tonight. We're just going to do 2 more. And last one. Good. Point the toes of that top foot, but keep the bottom foot flexed. Now reach forwards and back. Reach forwards and back. Reach forwards and back. 2 more. Lovely. Last one. Reach. Good. And bring it back. You can take it in front of you. Give yourself a little stretch, little tap. And then you are going to do open book now. This is where you might need... Oh my God, have I ever shown you my lunar cushion? I'm going to use my lunar cushion. So make sure you've got enough, yeah, so you feel like you're not camping and being really uncomfortable. You feel like you can have shoulders stacked. Bring your knees up a little bit higher, have your arms in front. And then from here, also make sure that your head's kind of towards the front of the cushion. It's because when you lift your arm and when you start to twist and reach back, you don't want to fall off your cushion, do you? So it's an inhale, up and over, and an exhale coming back. I mean, if you find that you sort of come halfway and you want to exhale, you know, do that. It doesn't matter too much. If you want to go more slowly with it, I prefer you to get kind of the loveliness. And are we short on cushions in your house? Will your mum not let you have a cushion? There you go. I mean, the other thing is you can just use your strength of your neck to lift your head, but you need to be aligned. That's better, isn't it? Good. Make this your last one. Bro. Okay. And then you're going to gently push yourself up. Okay. Take your cushions with you to the other side so they can be easily found. Then we are going to turn the legs around, but we're not going to go onto the other side just yet. Okay, so legs are now stacked. If that's really uncomfortable, again, they can be slightly apart. You are going to have your hand in line with your hip. Once you get up there, you might find that you want to have it a little bit further forwards or a tiny bit further back. I want you to roll your bicep towards your fingers. Yeah, so that gets the shoulder on the back. And then you're going to lift your arm up towards the ceiling. Now it's like your very tall friend, yeah, that's come to help you off the floor. So you're going to reach up, and it's almost like you've got no strength. They're pulling you up. Your arm continues to reach up, and now your ribs reach up, and that's what lifts the hips from the ground. Good. And then you just very gently and softly come down. So you've got to delay the hips. That was why I was talking about the tall friend, okay? Because otherwise we start to do this, and it comes like shoulder, hip. So you want to reach up, reach, reach. Yes, of course, there's strength work in the wrists and hand, but this gaze, yeah, so you're looking up, everything's reaching up, will encourage your spine to do some of the heavy lifting along with the pelvis. Yeah, is that all right? Let me just watch you do 2 more. That's it, great. Up, up, up. Yes. Love it. Okay. So after you've done 4, there's an option here that you can just stay on the ground, and now you can thread the needle through and open. Yeah, so that's an option if you don't want to be up doing the next bit. So that's just the modification. So you're going to reach up, 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 send the ribs up, lift those hips, stay up. Yes, you're in your side plank position, and then reach through. Thread the needle, open for 4. Okay, 4 is the aim. If you're on your bottom, definitely do 4. If you're up here, you're starting to get a bit wobbly or there's any pain, you know, just do 2 or 3, that's fine. Great. Nice work, everybody. And then let those hips gently come down. Well done. Really nice. It's hard work, isn't it? I know. Have a little counter stretch. Kind of fooled you into that, didn't I? Good though. You all did well. So you can lie down again now. Hooray! So you don't need to turn around because we've already done that. Trust me. Just lie down from the position you were in. I'm sure most of you can guess that Rich is pulling funny faces at me. Okay, so yes, that's correct. Yeah, where you are. Okay, so from there, you are then gonna lie down on your arm and again level off the hips. So the top hip wants to reach slightly away. Your knees are bent, feet are flexed. Good. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Isn't this fun? Are you glad you came? That's it. You want to look, you want to make sure that your whole leg is moving as one. Yeah, you're not doing this little clam or dolphin thing. That is fun too, you know, but you can just leave it, your arm can settle, that's fine. Good. Okay, so then from there, we'll start to circle. Circle that leg. Circle. Good. Circle. Ooh. Circle. Really nice. And then once you've completed number 5, reverse. Reverse. Yes, I can take your mind off things by showing you the little Luna cushion. That was a Christmas present. It's the weirdest thing I've ever received, to be honest. It's cute. I'll have to show you. I'll show you up close and you'll realise why. It looks like a very weird dog. Okay, so small rest, flex those feet, lift the top leg, push it out. Okay, it's just at hip height, so lower it a little, everyone's a bit high. Then from there, you're going to go up and down. And that's why you don't want it high. You're going to lift and lower. So your leg is super straight here, so you're really pushing through the heel. It's underneath you. Yeah, so you find that nice little space from your hip. Lovely. Good. Last one. And then from there, point the toes forwards and back. Again, bottom leg is heavy, making an impression on your mat. That's it. Well done. Good. And last one, I think I'm going to do an extra one to make 5. Good. Reach back. Rest. Bring it forwards. Do a little stretch. A round of applause. Arms go forward. Head on cushion. Right at the front there. Bring those knees up. Making sure when you bring your knees up, you don't just become like a fetal ball. Yeah, we still want to be lengthened, lined up with something on our mat, because I still can't kind of run up and down the room checking your alignment. So I've got to trust you. Again, the gaze is going to help you out here. So if you look straight ahead and then up towards the ceiling and follow the fingers around. Good. If you are super flexible, you want to take it steady. So almost imagine that you're holding your band or you've got a weight. Yeah, so you can feel, or you're pressing the arm through water. So you've got a little bit of resistance as you go. Otherwise, this can become just a bit like open, close, open, close. You want to really feel the chest again sinking down into the space that you've created around the shoulder blades. Lovely. Just one more, I think. Again, I'm working in 5-ish. So if you've done around 5 of those, or you feel like this can be your last one, that would be great. Yeah, when you finish that, bring yourself up to sitting. And then you change your leg position again. So you're going to take the legs that way. So the idea is you've already warmed up this bottom area, bottom and hip area. So now you're going to use that again. So again, set yourself up so your knees are stacked. That's it. Yeah, I can see you. Are you trying to hide, Anna? And then from there, reach your arm up. Remember your very tall friend. Have they got a name? I think mine would be Dave. Reach up, up, up. Lift those hips. It's like you're just stretching out. And that's what actually brings you up into this lovely position. Just checking on that bicep. Is it reaching towards those fingers? Yeah, so is your shoulder blade on your back. Oh, send the ribs up and then let the hips follow. Good. It's like we're just reaching up. It's like the 22nd of June is just up there. And you're just reaching and reaching and reaching, trying to get there. That was a good joke, wasn't it? Reach, reach, reach. It's like, oh, the light at the end of the tunnel is there. Okay, well done. Once you've done 4, you go into your thread the needle. So again, if you're quite happy reaching around just with the bottom on the floor, do that version. Otherwise, reach up. And almost it's like you're trying to get the longest way around. So it's almost like you're trying to scoop your arm around a barrel. In the last class, Claire had her cat in between the arms, so she was kind of scooping her arms around the cat, which is quite a good prop, I thought. Lovely. It's just 4, so we're not kind of hanging out there for too long. Really nice work, everybody. Good. And then you can rest. And again, you might want to kind of just shake the wrists out. We can do a little bit of shoulder rolling. You might want to do your kind of counter stretch. Honestly, like whatever makes you feel better after that work. And then we are going to come to standing now. So let's come to all 4s. Tuck your toes under. Of course, you can get up in a lunge or a squat if you don't want to have your head hanging for a roll up, okay? So press the feet down, press your bottom up. Let the head hang for a moment, inhale. And then exhale, press through the feet and slowly build your body up. Good work. The theme of March has been balance and strength, so we're going to stick with that. I want you to just find 4 objects, it doesn't matter what they are, and you're going to put them on the ground. So mine's going to be sock, sock, slipper, slipper, okay? So honestly, it really doesn't matter, whatever's to hand. and you're just going to kind of throw them, don't throw them too far away around you. So it's still the clock theme. Yeah, so I'm going to just throw that one there so it's nice and easy. Now you can see my floor. Yeah. So what you're going to do is stand on one leg, stand up and out of that thigh. So yeah, get your balance. You probably don't want to be on a squishy mat. And then from there, you're going to look at the objects around you, assess, and then you're going to reach the leg that's up off the floor towards those objects. You're going to tap, tap, and decide whether you're going to kind of go behind your leg. So get the one that's just behind you. Yeah, and you know, you can kind of make this harder by taking them further away. You can try to reach a different way. It's just about getting you to move in all directions. Good. Lovely. Try the other leg. So again, you might want to change your position. You might be like, oh, I've done that too easy, so I can change position and go, right, well, I know that actually I'm going to really struggle with this one, so I'm going to try and go there without falling over. Yeah, good. So, I don't know if it's an actual word, gamification, is it? Gamification. Just again, trying to make your balance a little more fun. Once you've had a go at kind of both legs and you've gone in all directions, okay, then you're going to try and touch those objects with your hands, okay, and then with your nose. No, only joking, but that could be a good Friday night game. So what I want you to do, we've been practicing these bowler's squat, so it needs to be a hinge at the knee, mostly at the hip. So I want your back to stay kind of tall as possible for as long as possible. So you send the other leg back to get as low to the floor as possible, and then reach and touch wherever you can get to. And you know, you're supposed to wobble and fall. That's the point. You know, it's like Twister. Good. Well done. Good. Try with the other hand. Richard, all I can see is your leg and your arms dangling, but I think you probably have got a very straight back. Well done. You found all the objects with each foot and each hand. Well done. Good work, everybody. All right, so make sure that none of those objects are going to trip you up. You know where they are. Just have your feet hip distance apart and just bring your both feet onto the ground so you can just ground yourself for a moment. Good. Just take a moment, close your eyes, inhale and exhale. Can you feel the weight in your feet? Can you feel a positioning with your hands? You know, where are you holding yourself? What's just hanging? Can you let go of any particular areas where you feel tension? Can you drop your tailbone? Are you holding your stomach in? Let everything just relax. Good work. Open your eyes, look towards me. Then gently look down towards your toes. Let the head gently fall forwards, flex the spine, roll down. Inhale at the bottom. You're probably gazing through your legs now and then start to look back to your toes. Keep looking at your toes until you feel fairly stacked, and then start to look ahead to let your shoulders roll back. Do it one more time. It's okay for everybody. Yes, rolling down. So again, that where your eyes go, really encourage the spine. Fabulous. Just do that a little bit more. Good. And once you're up, just give yourself a little jiggle and a wiggle. Nice little round of applause. Well done, everybody. Good stuff. Make sure you clear everything away so you don't kind of jump up after you've left the meeting and then you fall over spiky balls and boots and things that you put on the floor. Here's the parting shot.
Oh, interesting.
Where's her legs? I don't understand.
Is it? Well, I mean,
it's a picture of her, obviously as a puppy, but from above. So
yes.
she's looking up, which is quite cute. But I was like, but she's got no back legs. It's like
a disabled dog.
It's very odd.
You know.
You could make her one of those little wheel things that dogs with no back legs have.
A little dog wheelchair for our cushion. No, I think I'll just hug it. Yes, very strange. You know, one of those presents that you get and you're like, thank you. That is so kind.
Ideal width for Pilates though, isn't it? It's an ideal width for cushion.
You know what? I've never used